Hi, my name is Ev. Welcome to Buddy is in Charge and welcome to Charles Stewart Parnell Park in Rathdrum in County Wicklow. Today is slightly different because our family member is recovering from surgery. So we are going to go for a drive more so than a walk. We will go up into the town itself, have a look at the main street, and we shall find other places of interest along the way in the area. There's a nice little memorial to Jimmy Houlihan, and he had the vision for this beautiful park, which we're going to now go around. This is the monument for Charles Stewart Parnell. The deer has been a symbol of Wicklow for 400 years. The park has a number of monuments. This one is for the 400th anniversary of the death of Faye McHugh O'Byrne. The Millennium Cairn. Those who have an interest in Irish history, Anne Devlin, 1780 to 1851, lived near Corballis in Rathdrum, and she was the loyal friend and faithful servant to Robert Emmet. This is St Saviour's Church, and it is the parish church for the Church of Ireland community in Rathdrum. It started in 1620 was the original building. It was remodelled in 1796, and then after a fire in the 1830s it was rebuilt to the current form. Old pipework. Sadly, the railway inn looks a little bit dilapidated these days, but would have been an old coaching inn. This chap and his dog, they don't have a name against them, but we presume it is a memorial to the sheep farmers in the area. The main street of Rathdrum. These ruins are to the back of St Saviour's Church. Could have well been once schoolhouse maybe. We'll try and see if we can find that information for you. The park is constructed on glebe land belonging to St Saviour's Church. There's Parnell Monument from the rear. We've moved on now to Woodenbridge, and we're going to go to the World War I Memorial Park. This is the Woodenbridge Hotel in absolutely fantastic surroundings of woodland and the valley. Not sure which one it is, but one of these is a gold mine river. I think it's the larger one. I'm going to go for a little walk through here. Hopefully you can read those words by Francis Ledwidge, who died at the Battle of Passchendaele in 1917. Hotel in the background. So it's for 1,200 men who came from Wicklow, in County Wicklow, who lost their lives in the First World War. It's an old bridge there, and we will pay our respects now. This tree was planted here by our former president, Mary McAleese. There are 3 circles, much the same as this one, and the names of those who died in the First World War from the various different towns and districts are remembered here. So underneath the main road there is this exhibition. So you might hear traffic overhead, but it keeps things watertight, I suppose. Strange place to put it, but maybe it's the only place they can. Wouldn't be too surprised if people are unable to find it. Export of coal is this very quiet rural road. It wasn't so quiet in 1795. We'll tell you more in the next few minutes. It's not because of these beautiful flowers. In 2026 there's myself, Buddy, lots of sheep, and our family member who are here. But in 1795 this very place was the location of Ireland's only ever gold rush. There would have been over 4,000 people here. They all came to pan gold out of this particular river. Sometimes they got actually quite a lot of gold, and as you can see the river itself has changed. This area here has obviously been worked by man. So just before the gold rush there was a farmer by the name of Donahue who was doing very well for himself, and locals were wondering as to why he was doing so well, until they found out that there was gold in his river. So within 4 weeks to 6 weeks, in September and October of 1795, there were 4,000 people here encamped, working in teams of 8 to 10 people, men, boys, women, and they were panning for gold. With that, other traders came here and would have set up camp as well, and they would sell the workers whiskey, ale, food and other entertainments. And so now we're going to go up along the main forest path here, and we're going to see more modern. The Irish name for this area is called Ballynagore, and that actually translates back into English as the town of the gold. We're climbing out of the river valley, and the largest nugget of gold found here was 22 ounces, and it was given to King George III in 1796, and it is alleged that he made a snuff box out of it, of all things. So on we go, and we will find now very shortly what is making all that noise, and it definitely was not here in 1795, and it was not this foxglove. So now on the slopes of Kinsella, and we will get images shortly once I find a clear view, but hopefully you might be able to find or see this is now also a wind farm. Hopefully you can see the rotors there. We're now going to make our way back down again towards the car. We will return. It just happens to be as the family member is still recovering from surgery, so we don't want to go too far. But yeah, so there are areas of Ireland which are quite famous for gold. Here on Kinsella, you also have some in Waterford, areas in Waterford. There's also Sligo, Mayo, like Croagh Patrick, and then also further north on the west coast, on the Atlantic coast, there are other seams of gold. And if you go into the National Museum of Ireland in Dublin, you'll see lots of torques and amulets which are actually of Irish gold, and these can date back 3,000 to 4,000 years, if not longer. So our ancestors knew the wealth of this beautiful metal. Another view of the wind farm. We're now descending back down this lovely forest path. So at the end of the gold panning and the end of the gold rush was because the authorities found out about this community down here of 4,000 people. I am sure would have been quite noisy, with drink and singing and music, dancing and everything else that goes along with it. So the authorities really ended it all for everyone. Maybe that was possibly right to do so, but yeah. So this is where we're going to say goodbye to you and hope to see you again soon. Don't know where, but we'll find somewhere. Thanks for watching.